But then surely this doesn't do that much damage. I mean, it's Hysilens, a support character, you know? So I don't expect... I didn't expect her to do that much. Hello, Internet! And today we got Hysilens. She just looks upper class, though. Yeah, her body's kind of just made out of water. What? Before we start, everything's here from the Creator Experience server. And with that out the way, it's time to take a look at them stats. 180 speed. Insane. But just a quick look at the stats. The most important metric being the affected rate. You want 122. Main reason being you want to maximize the bonus ability that gets you more damage dealt. Yeah, to get the 90% full benefit, you want 120 F hit rate. And when you combine that on Hysilens with Kafka's post-buff effect, you get a bunch more attack right here, right? He's so good now. But to take a look at the whole kit, I'm gonna show you and scroll through all of her kit does, and it's honestly such a direct kit. And it just makes dots pretty good, at least on paper. Here is her Lightcone. I'm going to scroll through it. And it's such an insane Lightcone based on the fact that it gets you speed. 10% increase for 3 turns. That is a lot. Which is why, yep, with Hysilens, you're going to get a lot of speed. And here are the relics with her. It's a pretty standard dot DPS setup, so yeah. And here are the information on the Eidolons. I will never get them because I'm unlucky. With all that out the way, it's time to show you and test out the dot team. The best version of it. Yeah, we have the new boss as well. We'll probably fight him later. He looks terrifying. But for now, to fight the Gepard, I'm gonna go through a kit as we go into the fight as well, so I can't wait with that. Here's the technique. It looks like this. Kind of just a jellyfish that floats. But yep, here we go. So the first thing to know when we go in, you're gonna notice the alt zone from Hysilens already in the background, and that counts as like an ultimate. And you know what Hysilens does on her ultimate? Not only you get the attack decrease and defense decrease with 25%, that's pretty good already. You also get the every 1 instance of dot taken, you proc an extra hit right here. Plus, based on the major traits, you get 1 extra skill point when you deploy the zone. Plus, I have the 4-piece clouds out of Ho-Ho, so we are at a total of 5 skill points. We're maxing it out, baby. You have the first row of Hysilens, you usually want to just use a skill, because the skill, first of all, dude, her sword looks cool. Second one is such a raw increase of just 20% increased damage. You always want that, right? So let's go and do that and check the damage out, baby. Bang. Oh, she was not supposed to do damage on that one. Now, I'll focus on Hysilens' talent. It allows my ally to inflict a random dot effect, right? Sheer bleed, burn, or shock. So with Kafka's turn right here, not only going to trigger the extra hit from any dot trigger, we're going to actually just land some random. Look at that. What in the crud was that? And you know what? We just got attacked to the point where we have enough for the ultimate. Arcana shock, wind shear shock, burn, horror shock from the Ho-Ho. I mean, the horror shock does nothing. It was just kind of funny where you horror shock by a Ho-Ho. But as we trigger more dots, we're gonna land more dots based on the talent of Hysilens, and we're gonna trigger all those freaking physical dot damage based on Hysilens' alt effect as well, dealing 300k damage on both of them. That seems to be what the dot team is doing right now. And well, keep in mind, we haven't even done the depth shred yet from you. We already have the depth shred from the zone, and we're gonna add on top of that freaking Black Swan Sword, which is pretty fire. I'm gonna go and actually use the charge from Ho-Ho. You're gonna notice Hysilens has her ultimate. However, since I still have my zone, it's not that I have to use the ult, but I think for the sake of just showcasing, I'm gonna test out just the ult damage, right? You see, the thing is, her ult is so cheap. It's 110 energy. That is so low that I think we can just use the ultimate. That's what I'll be attempting after I use this ult for now, though. We'll go with Black Swan. She was, you know, a little bit annoying in terms of like keeping the death threat up, but for now, the issue still exists. It does, but it certainly gets better, at least because we have the zone up with Hysilens. We get the death threat on them no matter what. By the way, with Hysilens, it's so easy to get Arcana stacks. It's 35 now. That's insane. Let's check out the amount of death threats we have. We got a 20.8 Decadence from Black Swan. Obviously, we also had a 25% from Monstrum Rhapsody, which is from Hysilens. So you basically ignore half their defense. It's dropped by 50%. And now we got Hysilens' turn. I've got 1 turn left on the zone. I think it's the best time for you to use this. Now, as I use this, I'll just regenerate the zone, which doesn't really do anything since I already have it up, right? But here's the final biggest thing about Hysilens, okay? When she uses her ult, she triggers every dot and trigger 150% of the original damage. So she's basically doing a Kafka ult now. In fact, Kafka's ult doesn't even do that much. It's 120%. Hysilens does more than Kafka. But then surely this doesn't do that much damage. I mean, it's Hysilens, a support character, you know? So I don't expect... I didn't expect her to do that much. What the flip? Look at my support, dude. She's a main damage dealer now. 800k from like this person that's supposed to like dropping defense and kind of just supporting all around. But never mind. Let's just kill them right off. But just generally, though, look at the damage you're taking from dots now. 300k. for taking their turn. Dots are actually zero cycling. When do you get to see that? With a healer in town? That usually never happens, man. But yo, 1.3 million from the Kafka. All right, now we got UF, 2 full attacks. So let's just walk. Bang, there we go. 5,000 damage. Fire. And yeah, that's basically the entirety of her kit. Every time now that the zone is up, if I trigger any dots, we'll trigger the physical damage proc as well with that full attack from Kafka. That's how I usually trigger it, but not very easily. And now we got it all again. Yo, I'm just gonna check the damage, right? It feels like it does a lot anyway. Let's check this damage out, yo. And bam, you know what? That is basically like a whole Kafka nuke. I just didn't expect that from Hysilens. I did not think she was gonna do that much. That does make this team really, really good now. Like, everyone does a lot of damage. Anyways, here we got Black Swan again. The problem with Black Swan usually is just that, oh, I gotta reapply the death shred because the enemies died and it's not like a different wave. And it's usually at that point where you run out of skill points. But with Hysilens, like, generating skill points for you, like, pretty well. You actually just get all the skills the moment you need them. Is pretty nice. But now that everyone basically used their skill, I think I'll use it one more time. Just get our ult back and, you know, put that vulnerability. I'll make sure they're on. But here comes the new mob, actually. I haven't, like, looked at this mob too much, but it seems like just a manta ray. And yeah, it just spawns 2 little guys. It reminds me of, like, the bot that summons the goldfish. We gotta get rid of the Gepard. Here comes the ultimate. 4 targets here for Kafka. We're gonna trigger the extra physical damage from Hysilens and 500k damage down, baby. Not too shabby at all. I like that. And you know what, man? Here comes the Arcana. We're gonna actually do so much more damage because we can have a lot of Arcana stacks on. And again, that's thanks to Hysilens being able to, like, help us just trigger all those dots a lot as well. So, yep, that's a dead goldfish right there. And now, can we get the 0 cycle, though? That is the hope, but I don't know, guys. We're out of skill points for sure. I don't think we're gonna get a 0 cycle, though. Well, we're gonna use it as 1 here, and then a fall of time. Bang, 150k right there. Whoa-who's here. We are definitely forced to use 1 skill there, and now we are out of skill points, but because Hysilens is built fast, and she can actually generate you skill points, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do here. We don't gotta use those skills. We already used it. We're gonna break the Gepard, get the physical bleed as well, and here's the final trick with her, right? You want to make sure, if you can, for the enemy to have 8 different dots. So we got Bleed, Wind Shear, Arcana, Shock, and Road Shock. These are all different dots. We have like about 8 or 9 actually over there. We even got a burn here. The simple reason is Hysilens' ultimate can trigger the extra physical dot damage if you trigger each type of dot. Up to 8 dots. Ah, yes, the supportive type characters of 3.0. Just one-shot them, dude. Here comes the Kafka. We're gonna murder you. That was DoT team with a 1 cycle clear. That usually never happens, man. Even in CE servers, you're usually looking like a 3 to 4 cycle clears, usually. But yeah, Hysilens just made it so much better. If get rid of Ho-Ho for Robin, you would definitely clear this in 0 cycle. Like, it's so easy to set up. Holy moly, Hysilens with a DoT. Like, that is really good. But that was fighting against Gepard, which I think is like the most suitable one, given Kafka's like lightning weakness right there. Let's fight the new boss though. I mean, you do have wind weakness, but then again, I really don't think it matters what the weaknesses are, at least for the DoT teams, right? It feels like they just put the dots on, and who cares about the weakness? We don't even got a weakness breakdown. We kind of just gotta trigger all those dots, and Hysilens have every dot type possible anyway, so every element will get hit. But in the meantime, let's just finish him off with Castrus. See once we're done with this one. Well, if you're wondering how that went, we 0 cycled that while being full auto. Well, very direct point. Hysilens with the DoT team, they are now incredibly strong, but are they just the best team of all time? Absolutely not. But they are really strong though. I'll give you that. It was not that far off a Castrus team. All right, now we got the second file. It's been so long since I've seen this too. And yeah, now that we understand what Hysilens is all about, there's really not much to show. So I suppose I'll skip the first one. I just kind of want to see like how the boss look like, and you know, just try different elements, different enemies. Well, that's the first wave done. Now we have the second one. Now I only saw this one. You have 5 stacks of HP. Guys, I'm a little bit worried. If I remember from the live stream, I'm supposed to kill all the mobs as well. Is it just me or they have like a falling down animation? That's kind of cool. Like, I do an E, bang. They kind of just, oh, they don't fall down. It's only with Hysilens' skill that they fall down. That's kind of cute. Well, here comes the ult though. 400k dealt and 3% of Theoros Lygus' health drop. Is it just me or this is insanely dumbly hard? We're gonna just shred on, and I suppose we'll just go for the ultimate from you. Okay, the damage is racking up, but 4% the way there. And well, 7% the way there. 92% left now. I'm gonna let you do this, or you just get your freaking mobs back. Changer's form takes increased damage, it says. So now I should do a lot of damage, is what you're saying. I guess that's exactly what I'll do. Let's get the gosh darn Arcanas in there. We got Kafka as well. Go with the freaking boom. And 600k. Here comes the damage now. I wonder what it does. It's not that crazy. What is this icon? Using ultimate consumes HP equal to 50%. What? Isn't this bad? So if I click this, I lose HP from that. Oh boy, can I die from that? That's insane. Yeah. Whoa. That's a huge chunk of HP gone, man. I do feel worried, but Whoa is healing. So here comes the energy. If you can defeat the enemy, or if I get a knockdown, or if Memo Sprite dies, I'll lower the, I'll lower this stack. I wonder what happens when I get it to 0. We'll find out. We gotta kill the mobs though, so let's work on that one. It should be perfect for the DoT team. So yeah, I do think this boss is pretty good if you got like a full DoT team, considering they do a lot of AoEs. But it's also kind of bad because right now these little mobs, this is a problem like DoT teams in general. Like I need to reapply the debuffs from, say, well, Black Swan, if I want a maximum damage right now, right? Because they just spawned in. Although I don't think I'll be doing that. I need more skill points. So I'm gonna just need you guys to hit the Kafka now. Come on, hit the Galaxy Mommy, not the insecure kid. There we go. Now Kafka goes. We should kill all the mobs here. We're gonna spawn more, I think, though, right? Bang, 5 out of 10. All right, everything's gonna die here as they take a turn. There we go. You're gonna attack me so far. We're already almost dead. Oh gosh. And this boss is pretty tough, man. I won't lie, jeez. But as the mob dies, I think we should have it. We're gonna use our ult. I'm low-key panicking with ult though. This should do decent damage. 430k. They should kill the mobs now. And we kill the boss that way. And now you're gonna change modes while attacking me to the point of 0 health? What? Did my Kafka already got revived? Oh, whatever. Let's just go with the ultimate. 66% HP left. But you are taking more damage now, I think. 63 to 62. Nah, it just feels like you're still thick as heck, dude. Here comes the whole. We gotta get the heal and regen all our energy. And they are about to spawn stuff, I think. I also think they ran out of the decadence effect from Black Swan. That is the issue with DoT teams. The skill point usage is pretty high. Especially when you consider like the, wave swaps and such. But at least with Hysilens, you have the death rate effect with her ultimate. So yeah, look at that. I'm so fast and I'm able to like take 2 turns before Black Swan did. I get to regenerate the skill point, and here comes the ult as well that regens another skill point. Do not forget, chat. I don't know why I just said chat, but yes. Every time I use the ult on Hysilens, you get a skill point back. That is so big. So now I can actually plant the decadence on Black Swan. You got 49 stacks of Arcana. Jeez. All right, let's go for the E. So if I can use my ult again, I can actually stall you again, can't I? I'm not exactly sure if this works. Yeah, it doesn't. Ah, dude. If I could have got my ult on Black Swan, maybe I could have just done something there, but well, it's too late now. And here we go. Here are the mobs, and I gotta reapply all the dots. I'm gonna go and use the whale for an ultimate. Here we go, dude. That's POV when you have E6 characters. That's just you right there. Here comes the Whoa. We're gonna go for the Arcana. Dude, this boss is so thick. 5 HP bars, man, with like multiple mode changes. Dude. Ugh. All right, with Hysilens, I don't think I want to use my E, considering I need more skill points for the Whoa. So let's just regen 1 skill point. We got the Whoa. I want to stay healthy because this boss is kind of scary with the damage, man. If I could kill the mobs with Hysilens, that would be pretty big. Almost 1 million damage already as well. Fire. And this one, ugh, we should be okay, but we're not doing as safely as I thought we'd be. I mean, 4% of the boss left. I think we got him, but yeah, this stage is no slouch, guys. Here comes the Q that should get you. All right, freaking 1% health that does not go down. Fire. All right, there we go. And we got him. It took 2 cycles. Even I think this specific boss is not perfect for the DoT team. The perfect scenarios are usually like the boss stands on field. There's no wave changes, nothing there. It's not gonna dispel or depel. It's just like the Gepard stage. Because all the dots stays, like I can trigger it again and again once I put it on. But this one, you kind of like respawn a lot of mobs. I gotta put the dots back on. I can't just one-shot them when they come back with only 1 type of dot. That is the issue with DoT teams in general, but well, it's a 2-cycle clear. Can you complain? I mean, I don't think I would. And again, if you swap off Ho-Ho for, say, like Robin, you could attempt like 0-cycle clears. I think it's so strong that it is enough to be called a version 3 team, and you can attempt to use a DoT team like this once you get Hysilens, and to just clear any content as you would with like a friggin' fighting team, I suppose. Is this team as strong as just Castress though? I don't think so, but you can clear everything, I'm pretty sure. In every mode as well, considering you're all AoEs, right? So every mode should be able to like be beatable by this team. Even against singular targets, they are doing enough output now. It's like you have 2 Kafkas with Hysilens all be able to trigger dots. So yeah, what a gosh darn good unit for the DoT archetype. The archetype is finally done, guys. I've waited for so long. I will 100% be pulling for her just because I got the Kafka Black Swan archetype already, and that should be your only indicator in my opinion. Outside of the DoT team, her use case will be very much lower. There's one other use case that I think is interesting I'll show later on. It'll be Vakaran, but would I pull her just to use her Vakaran? Probably not. If you want to play the DoT team though, you kind of have to get her, and you have to at least have the Kafka Black Swan. You can swap around with any other like supportive characters. Maybe a buffer like Run May would work, or any other DoT character would work as well. well. But Kafka, man, she's still a big source of damage. You want to keep her on. Without Kafka, there's no Hysilens. Same with Hysilens as well. You need a Kafka or else Hysilens don't exist. And all that says here, all the stats of all the characters. We got a Kafka right here. She's looking pretty fine. She's looking pretty like normal basically. No Eidolons as usual. Here comes the Black Swan. Is not on like a fast build. I don't think Black Swan needs to be built that fast considering her skill point is definitely, you know, at least a bit of an issue, but still, with the help of Hysilens, though, it definitely got way better. In any case, here's still Fofo as well. This character also does take some skill points to use, so gotta keep that in mind. Keeping Hysilens fast with a fast Kafka seems to be working out fine for me in terms of skill point usage, so yeah, that'll be all for today. I'll be cooking out more Hysilens video. I usually do like the whole, I tested all teams with Hysilens video, but it's now 6:30 a.m. and I don't got the time for that. I'll do that later on, though. There'll be more guide content and such as well. Hopefully, it'll help you guys out, and follow the channel for more. That'll be all. Take care.